Hello there. As people look back on the events on Clapham Common over the last weekend, the question has to be asked, who was to blame for any overreaction against the attendees? Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back every day. And a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. We've all seen the photos and film from the evening of the Sarah Everard Vigil, but we have to acknowledge that, as ever, there are two sides to the story. The attendees at the Vigil claim the police simply overreacted, but the Met Commissioner Cressida Dick has defended their actions. After all, there is a pandemic and there are rules. The police say that they asked people to move on, but that a few refused to do so, and that's when they took action. And social media is awash with opinions on both sides. But for me, the real people we should be looking at when pointing the finger of blame are those in Westminster, the politicians. And here, Tory MP Sir Charles Walker hits the nail on the head square on. Standing up in the Commons, he said, "This House criminalised the freedom of protest. This House, us, not Dame Cressida, not the Metropolitan Police. We did. We criminalised the freedom to protest collectively. We are up to our eyeballs in this. Does the Home Secretary, my right honourable friend, agree with me that now is time to decriminalise the freedom of protest? Not tomorrow, not next week, but this afternoon, this evening. Let's get people back on the streets. Let's allow people to get things off their chest again. Protest is a safety valve." And he's absolutely correct. But not only did the politicians criminalise the freedom to protest, they also did not make it absolutely clear to the police that all protests, because they are gatherings, all protests were to be stopped. In fact, with some of them taking the knee, they appeared to be supporting some of the protesters and their actions. And last year that ended up with some demonstrations being stopped using police officers in body armour and others being treated with kid gloves. Some were given the full enforcement process, while others were able to obstruct emergency service vehicles or engage in wholesale vandalism while being effectively escorted by the police while they did it. In fact, the police are now claiming that the weekend's vigil was infiltrated and hijacked by the very types of people they were kneeling for and facilitating last year. And all that appeasement and lack of firm policing last year seems to have come back and bitten both politicians and police in the derriere. And if women continue to feel insecure when out and about, then it's time that politicians across the board started listening. It's their job to set the agenda and put the education, assets and laws in place to address important issues like this. Because it's meant to be the politicians that take the lead. After all, that's why they stood for election, isn't it? So what do you think about this? Please share and comment below. And if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below and support me on Patreon or PayPal. And thank you for watching.